Trust you're all doing great. Big hi from me to you. Catch me live on Saturday with Max Chebs, and especially ladies, let's get to motivate ourselves. Let's get to make 2020 a better year and the decade a more prosperous one, a much more happier one. So it will be, I need to confirm the time, but I think it will be 4 p.m. If you're in US, if you're in Dubai, it should be 11 p.m. Saturday, and if you're in Cameroon, it should be 8 p.m. Yeah. So, get to see you. Don't miss.
Happy Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen. This is Chebs Mc Falene. I am making this short video to encourage you to join our live show on Saturday at 3 p.m. Atlantic. It's 2 p.m. Eastern, and it's going to be 11 p.m. In Dubai. And our guest speaker for Saturday is the one and only Miss Nehlittle. She is resident in Dubai and will be joining us for an amazing show. So please join us live. Our promo flyers will be out soon, and so you could see what is in store for the show on Saturday. Have a great rest of your week, and I hope to see you Saturday on Unfiltered with Chebs Mc Falene. Thanks. Come back on and try one of the last link I sent you and turn on your VPN.
Okay. Yeah, it's on now, so I'll just switch off WhatsApp and try it.
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think we are trying to figure this out. As you understand, and this could be a lesson, internet is not so easy flowing as it is here in North America, in other parts of the world. As I understand, in Dubai sometimes and other places like China, as I know, you have to use a VPN service to sort of facilitate use of internet because a lot of videos are restricted and things like that. So that might be what is interfering with our video quality and our audio quality here. Oh, there you are. So
yes, now I get it. The problem was restricted video calls in Dubai.
That is the problem.
To use the VPN. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Sorry, guys.
No. This is great. So we are back on. We are happy we have you, and it is clear as ever. So, ladies and gentlemen, fellow viewers, thank you for joining. This is Unfiltered with Chebs Mc Falene. We have in our studios and joining us all the way from Dubai, and you could see the challenges, is the one and only Miss Nehlittle Ngwa. And so thank you for joining us this evening.
Hey, thank you so much. I'm very happy to reconnect with you as well as all the viewers for tonight. Happy New Year to you all. I hope you're enjoying it.
Thanks. So before you came on, I was giving the viewers a little bit about your profile. I think because of all the internet connection issues, I'm just going to go back again and do the same thing. So I'm going to tell our viewers a little bit about you, and we're going to delve right into the questions and answers. How about that?
Okay, I'm cool with it. I'm really cool. But guys, I must apologize. I live in a country where video calling is strictly prohibited. You need to know the stress we go through. I need to turn on VPN and I need to do this and that. So I'm really sorry about that.
I think it is very well understood. I was just admonishing or telling our viewers that, sometimes we take for granted the fact that those of us, at least who are in North America, we have free-flowing, internet services. And, sometimes we don't appreciate how other folks in places like the United Arab Emirates, in China, where, internet services are really restricted, how that can impact, persons in their connections to others. So that being said, let's dive right to it. Welcome again, viewers. Thank you for those who have stayed on with us. This is Unfiltered. I'm your host, Chebs Mc Falene. We have Miss Nehlittle here joining us. She is a Cameroonian. She is a visionary,
and founder and former executive director of Empowerment and Development Center for Africa, with over 14 years of experience working to improve the lives of grassroots women and children as a volunteer development instructor and facilitator in South Africa, Mozambique, and in Cameroon. She has traveled the world widely. She holds a higher diploma in human development, bachelor's of commerce and human resource management from the University of Western Cape. She's currently pursuing graduate studies, an MBA from Australian University in Dubai, Murdoch University it is called. She's a facilitator and development consultant. She has been awarded the UNESCO scholarship and recognized as a human rights activist twice with invitations to the UNESCO Young Leaders Forum in Thailand at Mahidol University and at New York University of Connecticut. She is also awarded scholarships and one of the women chosen to represent Cameroon at the Women Deliver Forum in Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur. She's an artist. She supports a lot of artists. She's a songwriter, singer. She's produced her own album, one album titled Mama Africa. She's very passionate, and she has 2 singles which are in the making. And she's gonna give us a number also tonight. So Miss Little, very, very welcome. I very much appreciate you taking the time. I know it's a very late hour for you joining us on the show.
Yeah.
I'm sure our guests are going to appreciate what we have to talk about here today. But let's get to it. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, your passions, and what motivates you?
You've spoken everything about me. What do you really want me to say? Anyway, starting, my name is correctly pronounced as Nehlittle Ngwa. I am a Cameroonian born. I come from Bafut subdivision. And like you said, I have actually traveled to a good number of countries, beginning from South Africa, Zimbabwe, Botswana, Mozambique, for volunteer work as well as studies, training, and currently I am in Dubai. Not to take so much of your time, because I do understand we have lost a lot of time already. I just want my fellow viewers to know that I'm this one lady or woman who is so passionate about women empowerment, positively, women development, children development, because I believe that women especially are at the center of development. If you want to say we need an improved livelihood, it has to start from the household. And in the household, if we are looking at the natural leaders, it's not our fault, you know. God has already blessed us as women to be natural leaders by giving us responsibilities right from the household, which we cannot deny or take that away. So these are the areas in which I have been so active in: women's rights, children's rights. I have worked hand in glove with so many lawyers back then in Cameroon to ensure that the rights of most women are being respected. I've also worked hand in glove with the Ministry of Social Affairs, Ministry of Public Health and Women's Empowerment, as well as some other civil society organizations there in the Northwest region, especially Ngwa, which was the Northwest Development Association of NGOs. So in a nutshell, I can say who am I? I'm a mom. I am a passionate women's rights activist. I am so much into music. I really love singing because it's that one thing that keeps my mindset so active. It keeps me so positive, and it just, you know, kind of relieve me of the kind of stress that I get like on daily basis. And it keeps me in that mood to be able to motivate my own self and the people around me. So I thank everyone who has been around me up to this point, because you all, if you're still my friend, if we are talking today, is because you have been a big driving and motivational force in my life. And I'm giving it up. I'm not regretting that I took out this time amidst all the busy hurdles I have to be with you now.
Thank you very much. And just as you've said it, why don't we give our viewers a number So why don't you give them a little tune, or just a little peek of one of the tunes, or the title tune of your album, Mama Africa?
Mark, which is your best? That album, I think, has got 6 tracks and the 2 singles. Which is your best? Which one do you want me to sing?
I want you to sing the one about Mama Africa.
Okay.
That's my favorite one.
My voice is not the best today, but that's it. It's better when you have it live and even crooked. Mama Africa, you know, it's that album. I had it as a vision. The song and the track, Mama Africa in itself, calls on everyone in Africa who has got something to offer. It says no one knows everything, as well as there is nobody who knows nothing. So we all have our bits that we have as our expert areas. Bring it together and let's unite Africa for development. Hence, the song goes thus. Africa, let us come together, support one another and give hope to all the generations. Africa, let us come together, support one another and give hope to all the generations. When I think of all Africans, I'm gonna end there now.
Wow.
Let's give them a replay of the full track at the end of it. I'm sure they can always find Mama Africa on YouTube. You can have me there. My YouTube name is Nehlittle for Nelly, short form of Nehlittle. From that link, you can have all the songs, audios, and videos, and covers of many other artists that I have written. Let's just enjoy it and remember the message behind Africa. Come together for development.
Thank you very much. That was powerful. And as somebody who spent quite some time growing up with you, I know that you can sing. So I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm
I
sure.
have a bad voice today, though.
That's fine. That's fine. So I'm sure at the end, our viewers will be able to be pointed, and I know I'll point them to your YouTube channel where they can enjoy some of those music that you have produced and see some of your work. Why don't we talk about this? I know, you know, your work and activism covers like Africa, Asia, Europe. You've had a focus on West Africa in some of your work. Can you tell us one of the things that you have on the go for this new decade and new year 2020, and what you're working on?
You know, 2020 for me, as I call it, 2020, it's that very sweet decade I have been waiting for. Why? Because whenever I look, there have been a lot of prophecies being released from churches, from musicians, from a lot of people, declaring that 2020 is going to be a very big blessing. Hence, when you did give me the invite to join you on today, I was just asking myself, what can we talk about? Then I felt like, guys, let's talk about mindset. How can you be able to fashion or tailor-suit your mind to be focused on a positive direction that can be able to give you that motivational drive against all odds that we have? Because it's not easy to tell you, if you are a woman above 20, 25, 30, 35, running onwards, you would know that there is something in this life that exists and it's called stress. If you are a man and you are above 18, running 20, 30, 40, 50s, you would know there is something called stress. How can we be able to overcome all this is the vision I have for this decade, 2020. And looking at that, I have my life in twofold. One fold everyone calls me Nelly, okay, here in Dubai. If you call full my name Nehlittle, people might not really know. So if you look at Nelly from one side, it would be from the side of my passion, from the side of women empowerment, from the side of motivating women. I do it in every bit of me, and there is no way you can stay around me without feeling it. To the extent that a lot of people keep telling me you want to be an advisor or what, you keep advising people. It's just the way I am. I think my DNA was made like that, beginning from my mom. My mom used to be that woman. If she sees you doing some shit in the neighborhood, whether you are her daughter or not, she'll just call you and start talking to you. Now, this is on one side. On the second side, which is what I do here in Dubai, I'm a realtor. A realtor means a real estate professional. I'm like more of a property advisor. I sell properties, very branded ones. In case someone too wants to get something, let me give you the best advice on what you can be, how you can be able to invest your money that would guarantee you to maximize your profits. We call it returns on investment in property field. So what I'm looking at is 2020 on this second side in my office, everyone feels me. They feel my heat positively. For example, in the office, you know, if someone, it's but normal, a lot of us Africans think that when we work with people of other nationalities, we would naturally be discriminated upon, which I do not believe in that phenomenon one bit. Secondly, I could have, for example, an issue which is normal, we are humans, with somebody, let's say my boss, for example, or a colleague, and that person will be expecting, you know, to see me the next day carrying one heavy face. So sorry for you, because the next day you meet me, I'm laughing. Why? I have tailored my mind every night before I sleep. When I say my prayers and everything, I condition my mind to forget everything that was a negative instinct of mine. My mind has been tailored like that. So guys, if I wrong you in any way today, please don't carry it tomorrow, because tomorrow I might not even be thinking about it. But that doesn't mean we do not learn lessons whenever we are touched. My message for this year is condition your mind to see things from the positive side. Condition your mind to be a positive thinker. Stop surrounding yourself with complainants. A complainant or a dragger, as we call it in customer service, is just the kind of person that will help you to bring you low, to bring down your morale, to start seeing yourself as, I can't do this, I can't do this, I don't. Before you know, all the negative words come in, and then you become a negative-minded person. Guys, if there is anyone that's gonna make your decade a negative one, run away from that person. If there is any situation that you cannot amend it, take it or leave it and move on. After all, what's life? How many days do we have to live? Why live yours in pain? Why live yours in negativity? It's about building success by tailoring your mindset to think positively. That's why even the Bible says that if you want God to do something for you, you need to study. How do you see yourself as a visionary leader? What are your thoughts? The things that streamline your mind reflects your activity and hence reflect your future. There is no magic in it.
Very powerful.
Positive mindset.
Very powerful. Now let's talk. Let's delve a little bit into that. What you've said. So I'm going to ask you this: how is life in Dubai? We hear a lot of crazy stuff that happens to African people over there. As a successful woman, as a successful entrepreneur, as somebody who's pushing the limits of life there, what is your take about living in Dubai and the challenges?
This question makes me to laugh out loud. You know why?
No.
There is some saying in Dubai, they say the beauty of downtown is living in downtown. And the beauty and reality of Dubai is living in Dubai. Dubai, I will tell you, is one very beautiful city, one of the 5 most expensive cities. Okay. You can either come here, you can make it so big, and you can come here and get consumed. I think for my almost 7 years of living here, I have brought in more than maybe 30 people. Among these people, there is something I always tell them, like I do it as a pre-interview before I apply for your visa. Are you a positive-minded person? If you are a girl especially, I always ask those questions to all of them. You can sideline them one, then they'll tell you, including my siblings. Are you sure you can be able to operate normally under tight and pressured conditions? Because these are the realities of the diaspora. A lot of people back there in Africa think, oh, once he's gone into a plane, this is money coming. Once someone has gone abroad, it means money is coming. No, hell no. Our parents and brothers and sisters in Africa, hell no. The struggles are everywhere. And at home, it's even better that someone could go to your aunt or your uncle's farm and get some plantains or something. Here, no, you buy from water to everything. The only thing that's free in Dubai is hot air. I mean hot, because the temperatures will get to 45, 50. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
If you need cold air, which is air conditioned, you have to pay for it. However, I keep telling people, the day you decide to come to Dubai, you need to tell yourself you are a strong person. If you're a boy or girl, tell yourself I'm a strong person and I'm ready to face it. Number one, because within your first 3 months of visit, you might not have a job. After that, what next? Number two, I always tell my African brothers and sisters, especially from Cameroon, here we have a very good reputation as girls, as women, as ladies, as guys compared to other nationalities. I don't want to name them. Why? Because they have this belief that Cameroonian women especially, they work. I mean, we are talking on the global something, what people think about women here from Cameroon in Dubai. They give us a lot of respect compared to some other nationalities. I'm not going to call any name. But we have a stigma. A lot of Cameroonians who come here, they have a stigma on their mindset, which is that thing I'm telling, let's root it out this 2020, is that you would see a girl will tell you, Auntie, I've been looking for a job, but I think I've been going for interviews only for housekeeping, only maybe for waitress, and maybe she's a degree holder. You get? So the mindset has been, maybe because of those they come and meet, they've made them to think that if you're living abroad, you are limited to doing only odd jobs. But here in Dubai, I tell you, no. Dubai is a very corporate world. You just need the right direction. If you are coming in and you have been well schooled, you've got your certifications, there are two things involved. You might decide to pick up some of those menial jobs at the beginning, maybe 6 months, 1 year, just to get yourself stable. Pick up any course. Every course here, or if not all, are mostly internationally accredited. Take something, have one certification from here. Use the right channel. We've got some sites to find jobs like bait.com, www.bait.com, www.indeed.com, www.naukri.gov, and so on. What you just need to do is prepare a very good CV for you. Put it upon yourself. Job searching is as good as working. When I am job searching, I give myself a target to apply for at least 100 jobs a day. You get? These 100 jobs should give me at least 10 interviews. If I do that for 3 days, I have applied for 300 jobs. It should give me at least 10 to 15 interviews in the preceding week. And if you attend all these interviews well-dressed, well-mannered, you know, with some level of experience and some level of coaching, you should have at least 3 offers that you can then choose based on the company's background. Do they pay employees? Do they provide visas? What to do? Guys, stop thinking that Dubai is that one place you only have to come there and limit yourself. No, it's actually because of lack of information. That's the reason you find a lot of our people stressing here to the point where you get issues of stabbing and a lot of other things that happens. This, it can be curbed. If you have my personal contact, you know how to get me. On LinkedIn, I have my professional site there. It's Ngwa. Contact me, and if I have the time, what is killing me is time. I am running a lot of things at the same time. But if I'm able, I will give you the right direction. I may not give you money if I don't have at that particular moment, but I will give you a proper guide. I hope that makes sense to someone.
Wow. Very, very, very impressive. And for you to offer to help, that is the spirit that I have known embodies, you embody. And that is one of the reasons why I wanted to have you as my first female guest on this show. Apart from that, we go a long way back and we'll talk about some of those. But thank you for that. I hope a lot of people are listening. I wanted to ask you this. You were recognized by UNESCO as Best Youth Leader twice, rewarded with scholarships, and you had to speak at a number of conferences in Thailand, at the New York University of Connecticut. What was the experience like, and how has that boosted your confidence and your career and all the other initiatives that you're engaged in?
I'll start from, yes, I was selected and awarded one of Cameroon's best youth leader. Then I was only 28. That was a couple of years back, for University of Connecticut in New York. Unfortunately, for some reasons which were beyond my control, I did not attend that particular conference. However, I did submit my paperwork and it was presented there as well. But if we are looking at this one, Nehlittle University for Thailand, if we are looking at Women Deliver Conference, I just want to bless God, because it's not like, you know, I'm a superwoman that I got all that. First is thanks to God. And secondly, because it's an area that I'm very passionate in. I just believe in this thing they say, if you start something very small and you're doing it and it's what you're so passionate in, God is going to grow it. Before I came to Cameroon and decided to start up the Empowerment and Development Center for Africa, EDCA Cameroon, I did pursue a human development course in South Africa, through which I got very good firsthand, how do I call this, experience by giving training to Kwadabika youth. It's in a small community there in Durban, on HIV and AIDS counseling, women empowerment. You know, around that period in 2007 in South Africa, there was a very big controversy on the use of condoms and HIV and AIDS. That was when people were still saying it's a lie. That was when people were still giving allusions that HIV is witchcraft and all this. But having gone through my studies successfully, I was able to train some of the youths there in Kwadabika community who were even able to get a job in their local hospitals, thanks to the community head which they had at that time, who loved me so much as a daughter. Secondly, I also had a chance to do my internship while studying in South Africa, in Mozambique. In Mozambique, I actually worked with a project, it's called in Portuguese. In English, it means Higher Teachers Training College. That is Escola de Professores de Gaza, in Gaza province. It's a Higher Teachers Training College. Then I was working as a youth volunteer teaching English. Remember, Mozambique is a Portuguese-speaking country. So I was volunteering there from the international organization that sent me as an English teacher, as an HIV/AIDS counseling teacher. And at the same time, I had this other challenging task, which was given to me by the school, to start up and register Child Aid Gaza, which was never existing. And the only person I met who assisted me to do this job is one Zimbabwean, Mr. Chebs Mc Falene, who was my project leader then. Two of us, we had to go through the registration process with the government of Gaza province. We had to create an office. We had to recruit, you know, what is this, the preschool teachers. We had to train them. We had to register the kids. We had to do a lot in just 6 months. And then before going to South Africa, there is some knowledge I had gotten on preparing special immune boosters made from aloe vera, garlic, and red ginger. That was very helpful for persons living with HIV. So while I went to Mozambique, I had the chance to actually test this as one of my research work that really helped me, because I took a group of women, 30 of them in number, from the organization called Hope Maputo. It's part of the NGO where I was working for, Humana People to People. And in Hope Maputo, I trained the women on how they could prepare these immune boosters locally, taking it alongside with their antiretroviral drugs. And I really had to enjoy the feeling, you don't know what it means, Mark, of going through their CD4 count test results and seeing that those who had like below 200 were already getting up to a very good number in my very own eyes from this little research that I had been able to do. It gave me a lot of joy. And when I came back to South Africa, I had to replicate this. And then when I got to Cameroon, I continued the training. I did work with Interfaith Vision Foundation Cameroon as the health program manager then. And I did restituted this training as well to a good number of women support groups, as well as we did a lot. It was in my time there that, thank God, IFCAM2 did implement the US8 project on women empowerment. All these got to build my personal experience. Hence, I then felt like I was ready to start up something, which then gave birth to this baby then called Empowerment and Development Center for Africa. And I really thank all those who were working at the Ministry of Social Affairs, who could see me coming there all the time so heavy, and still they assisted me and everything went well. And I thank also United Nations for granting me then the UNICEF Orphan and Vulnerable Children Support, which assisted a lot of children educationally, psychosocially, and nutritionally in Bafut subdivision, in Mankon, some areas of Bengui, and in Bamenda. So it was based on these works that UNESCO gave me the recognition as a young leader that has really contributed to her community.
Wow. Larry Page, who was the co-founder of Google, said you don't need to have a 100-person company to develop that idea. So you are clearly an embodiment of that, right? Like you don't need 100 people to develop that idea into something. Let me ask you this. People describe you, and I know that because I'm one of those, as a passionate as a passionate and a workaholic with many things on the go. So I wanted to ask you, and you have said it yourself there, I can't count how many times you said I have many things on the go, right? So how do you manage all of these, including the number one, which is also being a mom to three beautiful children?
Man, it's not easy. It's not easy, but I believe that, see, in life, there is something we call time management. Those who know me, like those who know me as in me, know that I'm one no time wasting taker. Every minute of my time really matters. Before I go to sleep every night, I have my schedule for the next day. When I wake up in the morning, I'm looking it, and you know, I don't do things spontaneously. I always try to do things that are planned. That way, I end up registering success by the grace of God. So I would just say it's about me organizing my time, number one. And number two, maybe I'm also blessed to have very supportive people around me, especially from the family circle, who have been able to help me put an eye, help me devotedly take care, especially of my family, especially of baby when I'm very much busy. Probably I should give them credit, even to some of the nannies I have had, whom I integrate as part of my family. I should give them credits too, because they were the ones doing all that while I was busy hustling, looking for the money. Right. You get? Yes. Secondly, it's also because I did not just start at success. I had a vision for me. And I understood that getting through this vision is not an easy job. It's not going to be easy. When they say when you dream big, be ready to carry a very big load on your head. Hence, I was able to try to capacitate myself. For example, when I had a dream to start up an NGO, I didn't have human resource skills. Hence, I had to go and study human resource management. When I had the dream to do something related to human development in Cameroon at that time, it was really not at my door reach. I had to travel to do this, thanks to all those who supported me. You get what I'm talking about?
Right.
In Dubai, at the moment, I started from customer service. I went into sales executive. I went to business development. And today I'm working as a senior business development manager. At some point, I felt like I needed some more skills to be able to manage the kind of challenges that I had. Hence, I enrolled in Model University in Dubai, which is the Australian university. And I don't have even the time to go to class every day. My lecturers keep laughing all the time when they see me. But I try as much as possible, to schedule my time, to schedule my resources, to take care of what I should take care and also empower me. So my advice to a lot of people is you might not know it all, but if you feel there is something that you really want to do that gives you some level of satisfaction, try as much as possible. Don't be ashamed. I can't count how many times I have run behind some women I see that are very strong women, asking them, ma'am, how did you do this? Ma'am, how did you do this? Kindly be my mentor. Mentor me. Let me be your child. I don't care if I'm older than you, because I know I want to learn something from you. Yes?
Yeah.
Yes. So what I'm just saying to say is that ladies especially, we've always have this thing of smiling all the time, but in the middle of that smile, do not forget you were born or created for a purpose. Yes, I'm that one woman who believes that a woman should be very submissive, should respect her man, but it doesn't mean that you should be lazy. No man wants a lazy idol or a stooge representing in his house who cannot even advise him. You get? So try to make yourself useful, try to make yourself worthy. And there are a lot of places where you can always cry out loud as women. If you go on Google, you want to start checking on funding for women's education, funding for women's education, free scholarship, part-time, all these you can always find them. It now depends on you on how to consult a good project writer, which I am one, to come up with something and see if you can be funded to pursue your education. It's not where you are that really matters, but where you are going to. So my ladies, be so motivated. This 2020, age is not a number. If there is anything you've ever wanted to do, guys, do it. Go for it. You will be. You can be if you want to be.
Wow. Let's cap that up with this saying. Oprah Winfrey, as you would know, one of the strong Black women out there, says that as you become more clear about who you really are, you'll be better able to decide what is best for you. So I think that really sums up what you've been saying there. Let me ask you this.
One of my mentors.
There we go. So as a business development manager, what do you tell your clients when they first approach you, whether it be for investment, whether it be for coaching? What do you tell them?
I want to say that sales generally, I am a salesperson. I know business development and sales are two different things in total, but having a blend of these two experiences gives me a double-edged winning sword, in that for you to be able to get a client, you need to first of all like what you are selling. You need to be convinced about what you are selling. That's the reason, it's not every brand in Dubai that I can work for. It's not every company that can hire me and they'll say, yes, I'm coming to work for you. I don't care how much you pay for me. I need to like your brand. I need to believe in your brand, because when I come to your office or if I take up a job responsibility, I feel I'm a brand, I become a brand ambassador of it. This is what they call, see, there is something in human resource that they call taking ownership. When we hire new employees, one of the things you tell them is take ownership of this company, see it as yours. Because it's only when you believe something is part of you that you can be able to give in your all. That is what starts driving that passion in you. Okay. So now once I see myself like, yes, I love this brand. If you've been watching my videos on Facebook, on Instagram, on my professional site, on LinkedIn, on all the posts I used to make regarding events, sales events, maybe in Nigeria, in UK, in Luxembourg, other countries, I say these things from my heart. Number one, if you come there, I will take you to the site. You will physically touch, see, and feel. Secondly, I like to sell branded products. Unfortunately, I'm like that. It's in my DNA. So when I meet a client, I try first to, as much as possible, build a relationship, not necessarily to sell. I want you to trust me. So trust me, and I will be able to, keep you. Even if you don't buy from me at that particular moment, you're still gonna come to me someday. If you, your brother, your friends need something, you will always remember, oh, this lady I met in this company, she was so good. Her customer service was really amazing, which is one of the things, Mark, I'm going to really let us talk about this evening. Good customer service at work tells a lot. My brother, believe me, I don't know if after this a lot of my brothers and sisters will slap my name on their blogs, but we Cameroonians, we really need to improve on our customer service. I cannot count how many times I've gone to the bank and I got my emotions screwed up. Someone comes behind you, you've been waiting for like 10-15 minutes, and the person goes straight to the teller and the person is being served. You move up to the teller nicely, you want to ask, shall we not have a queue? Shall we not follow some order? Shall we not respect people? And then she gives you an attitude that you really cannot imagine. This is number one. Secondly, you go to someone's business site. See, in business, a client is treated as a king or a queen. Once your client comes to you, you need to treat them as a queen. They are your bread and butter for that moment. You get. And if you are polite to somebody, politeness is something that comes like, it's like there is a mirror effect. The moment you see someone, you smile, the person gives you a smile back. Please, guys, to all our people, especially back home, let's try as much as possible to improve on our customer service. Even if you are selling puff-puff on the road and someone comes to buy, kindly smile with that person and sell what you're selling. It leaves a lasting impression. So taking back to your question, what do I do, or what do I tell my clients? Basically, I don't use no magic to develop business. Be it on phone, because I do a lot of telecalling, be it face-to-face, be it during presentations, be it during my trainings or whatever. I try as much as possible to maintain that smile genuinely from the heart. It's just part of the customer service thingy, and it really helps in business development.
Very, very well said. I want to ask you this, just to shift topics a little bit. What is your take on, and I know this is a very broad topic, but it will be interesting to hear your take, given all of your travel experiences. What is your take on inequality and the fight against it, especially as it relates to the rural woman? Many of whom make up a sizable majority of the global South, right? A lot of people live in rural areas. A lot of them are women. That's the work that you've been engaged in. So what is your take on the whole issue around inequality for these women?
See, I'll make reference to in 2018, I was attending a set conference here in Dubai. It actually brought together a lot of first ladies, and I was really privileged to have been part of it. When I had a chance to make a 15-minute presentation, which I ended with a song. I don't mind singing here. It's a song that is so common, but each time I sing that song, it sings deep-rooted in my mind. It says, women are shaking the nation, eh. Women are shaking the nation, eh. Women are shaking the nation, eh. Women are shaking the nation, shake, shake, shake. Women are moving the nation, eh. What do you think in mind when you say women are shaking the nation? Women are moving the nation. I made those first ladies all to sing that song. And I told them the reason why I am letting us sing the song is to sink it deep into us that whenever you see a rural woman somewhere, you should think about your own grandparents. You should think about some people somewhere who need a level of assistance, who need a level of eye-opening. Unfortunately, sometimes there is a denial effect in that these same people you are trying to ameliorate their situations will be the same person running away from getting the gains from it. Now, I don't blame them. A lot of these women might not understand the need to be empowered, number one. Number two, because of the myths that are surrounding our society, some will tell you, oh, you started listening to the radio, you started watching news, you want to become like a man. These are some of the sexist language that our counterparts of the other areas, have used all these languages to make the women to think that you should just be subjugated and relegated to the background. But for me, back to your question, inequality and gender, women, there is nothing stopping you from being empowered. Empowerment is a very big word. There is nothing stopping you from being your best. I should use this word. There is nothing stopping you. If you want to be a farmer, be the best. Try as much as possible to be that farmer that you can be able to reap what you are doing out of there. Women, there is nothing stopping you from getting information. Women, there is nothing stopping you from learning even when you are old. I'm talking about gender equality. I am an African woman, and I said it before and I'm still saying it, that I'm that woman who respects men and the men in my world so much. I'm never telling any crazy woman, go out there and override the head of the family. No, if you do that, you are going against biblical. But there is something called gender equity. Equity is a midway to equality. Yes, what a man can do, a woman can do it better under special conditions. However, women, if you are at the 0 point, get to equity by being at the 3rd or number 4 point. You must not be 5 on 5. This is very good. It's a very good sign of gender representation. See, in 2016, on the 8th of March, International Women's Day here in Dubai, what I normally do is I told my company, number one, let's challenge ourselves to do 2 things. At least we should come out with a gender policy. I understand we are working in an Arab world where women are so respected, but to an extent, they have some limited rights. But trust me, women are more respected here than I've ever seen anywhere. If you stand in the metro with a woman and they don't have a seat, you have to wake up and let her sit. It's her right. Naturally, she's a woman.
Really?
So I used to use some days like International Women's Day, some of my free time that I have to develop gender policy for some organizations if they are interested. And I used to deliver motivational talks to women, especially. I did that in my company, Hepworth, when I was working. And it was really so good, such that I started receiving calls from a few other companies after that to develop for them gender policies and, deliver talks on women and equality issues. So my take of it, not to ramble too much, is that women, you might never be a man because you are not a man. But women, you can be the best of you. Never disrespect a man because women empowerment says there is 5-on-5 gender equality. There is also gender equity. You might not be 5-on-5, you might be 3-on-5, and you are still useful. This is good. It's really good. So in everything, let's look it from the positive side.
Wow, that is very, very powerful. Thank you for that. I would just say that there is a quote that I like, and it says, "Never give up. Today is hard. Tomorrow will be worse, but the day after tomorrow will be sunshine." And that is from Jack. That is from Jack Ma. You know, the founder of Alibaba Group. So let us reminisce back about some of our time back in the day when me, yourself, we had a group, didn't we? We had a group. We were part of the acting, the drama club, and we would go out, GBHS, Bamenda. We would go out and perform. We would perform during World AIDS Day. We would perform all kinds of plays. We also try to produce movies on our own. You remember? We also sang a cappella. As bad as my voice is, people wouldn't believe it, but I could sing some bass in an a cappella group. And most of all, one of the things we did was we actually ran together for office back in high school, remember?
Mark, you have a brain. So retentive.
Right. So can you talk to our viewers about some of that time? You know, we were trying to make things happen, you know, running for office, trying to do movies on our own, you know, a lot of experiences. How have those shaped, you know, the person that you've become? And do you ever draw back from those experiences when you're facing some challenges that you think, oh my God, what do I do now?
Mag, you know, you really make me, I'm just having this feeling of nostalgia. When I think of Cassava Farm, GBHS Bamenda, my alma mater, a Thompson's generation,
right?
I just remember this day, I will never forget. The principal said we all have to learn the school anthem. Can you sing that anthem, Mark?
I don't I don't think I can.
Early in the morning, I feel hungry for knowledge. When I look up the hills of Tamolung, I see ready. Oh, come and feed your backs with wisdom. Right here in GBHS of a backward town.
Wow.
Long live GBHS. Operations guide them. Long live GBHS. Fruitful mother, your fertile thousand, filled with excellence and valor. Promising this nation upright descendants. Amazing.
Wow.
Peter, our principal, may you really rest in peace.
May his soul rest in peace. May his soul.
Yeah, he had a vision for that school. And back to your question, you asked me, Mag, you remember you were our senior prefect, SP boy.
The one that was.
That time you were campaigning for SP, I was campaigning for Sagittarian prefect. And Nabil, I think I remember, was part of our crew, was campaigning for
Socials. Yeah.
And who else? Chocho was campaigning for works, and so a lot more.
Right.
I mean, the time we spent in GBHS, I will tell you, from drama club, I want to believe that it really molded the woman that I have become today. Because if I saw myself liking and having this big passion for humanitarian works, do you remember we used to go to Kamnafol on World AIDS Day to sing
and perform?
We were peer educators in school.
Yeah.
We were those students who used to talk to sensitize other students on HIV and AIDS.
HIV and prevention, and we'll do movie skits. Yeah.
Now, can you say that this has a relation with my later years activities? In Kamnafo, I remember this day we went there and we made a presentation. It was just wow. We sang the song and made a drama saying, 8, go backing. My life is a danger zone. 8, go packing. I'm warning you, my life is a danger zone.
I remember.
Guys, I want us to believe it, whether we like it or not, that the kind of extracurricular activities that you allow your kids today to indulge in kind of shape who they would be tomorrow.
Right.
As at the time I was working in Kamnafo, and there is one of these managers who was working there, and one of this lady who is working there, who later became my colleague. In Kamnafo, when I was implementing psychosocial and nutritional support with MINAS, Ministry of Social Affairs, sponsored by UNESCO, Kamnafo was also one of the implementing partners, and we were sitting on the round table, and they used to remember that, hey, this lady, I knew you when you were just a kid wearing sky blue, navy blue and sky blue, and we would laugh about it.
Wow.
So telling you that our time in GBHS has not molded me to the woman that I am today is a lie. Number 2, we were into drama club. Who did not know us then in school? Ngwa and the crew.
Everybody
Even
knew
the
us.
people I knew.
You remember the day when Nabil came to school with a machete, right? And then
I know. I remember. Do you know? Then I started building my acting skills. Little did I know that I was going to feature in one movie which at least gave me a chance to act. It was covered. It was done by Jimanju Pictures.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Bikaba. In Bikaba, I acted part 2 as the wife of Mr. Nyamboli Clement, Emperor. There's someone who is very popular in Bamenda. He's called Emperor. And he was my husband in that film. In that movie, we actually got married, and it's something. So if I tell you till today I'm singing, I'm able to compose the music, I'm able sometimes at work, even now, when I have international events, I just stage play something, me and my colleagues, and we bring it into a very corporate business event as an intro. That will make some of these big belly people laugh like anything, and they don't know when they're spending their money on buying properties. You get all this is thanks to Drama Club of GBHS Bamenda. I'm not gonna take that credit away from them.
Yes, that's certainly it. And you know what? I told somebody the other day that I'm trying to put back a boy band together. You know, we used to stage, we used to dance Backstreet Boys, and we had a crew. And we would perform. So I was saying that to a colleague the other day. I said, you know what? I'm looking for some people to put back a group together. But that also came from part of our time, you know, at GBHS, organizing those events and things like that. So, Ms. Nehlittle, I want you to talk to our viewers. I know you touched a little bit on that. But as somebody with a tremendous experience in the diaspora, can you talk to some of our viewers about what some of the challenges are, whether it be economic, social, political, that you experience, and how those have formed your worldview about maybe some of the things that are happening back at home, and so forth.
It's very cold in Dubai now. Everyone is having flu, so I'm not an exception. Mark, if you ask me about the challenges, right? This is what you asked.
Yes.
About the challenges that exist in the diaspora.
Yes.
And how it's been able to. Could you just take the last sentence?
How that has helped you, you know, perhaps how those challenges help you when you talk to people from, you know, back home, or who are trying to come to the diaspora, how you educate them about it, but also how that has
helped you form a view of some of the challenges or things that are going on back home?
Okay. Because if you want to ask me things that are going on back home, politically related, I will not talk. Okay.
No,
But
yes, sure.
in terms of socioeconomically, I will tell you, I have lived the challenges of diaspora in every sense. As a student, I faced it. As somebody struggling with a low-paid job, I faced it. And I've also seen the other side of it as somebody who has been able to do a good job, almost a white collar, which I'm still dreaming for, but at least I thank God for what is available. I have also lived that side. Looking at all this in global, I will just tell you that, my dear brothers and sisters, young Cameroonians, before you think you want to go abroad, kindly put it at the back of your mind that you are embarking on a journey that is very, very challenging, but it's not impossible. If others have done it, why won't you do it? Just do not put at the back of your mind. And a lot of the stress that people in the diaspora face, I need to be very honest to tell some of our parents, some of our brothers and sisters back in Africa, kindly stop giving too much pressure to some of your children who are living abroad. A lot of them are going through serious bills. And each time you cry, you exaggerate the problems that are there. Maybe someone, for example, is sick and you call and say somebody is dying. To you, you think you are doing something good. To you, you think you are trying to get money from this person who is abroad, but you don't know the mental torture you are giving to that person. Why? Those who live abroad do not have a lot of families that can be of great support to them, that they can sit around and share, discuss some of their issues. They don't have this. The kind of workload that people have, the long hours working, is not easy. Please, our families, when you send any child to go abroad, kindly give them time to settle up, to balance up, be of support emotionally as much as you can. Pray for them. They too need your prayers as much as anything. Being abroad in 1 month doesn't make you rich. No. There are a lot of people back there in Cameroon who have made it and who are making it better than those who are living abroad. Because you live in the clean streets, you live in everywhere, doesn't mean everything is perfect. You drive big cars, you might be driving those cars on loans. People don't think about all this. So my advice is, guys, if you want to come and work, it's okay. Put in your mind you're going to be challenged, but it's not an impossibility because others have done it. Just try to put the right strategies and contact the right people that can lead you properly. And to the families, please stop giving too much pressure. Once somebody just traveled, give them time to settle at least before you can start making some requests.
Wow, well said. As we are rounding up, ladies and gentlemen, if you're joining us, I'm here with Ms. Nehlittle, all the way from Dubai. I know it's late for you, so I'm going to try to round up. Thank you so much again for joining us and for being very inspirational and bringing that Black, strong woman power to Unfiltered and saying it as it is. I just wanted to ask you a few more questions before you left.
Okay.
What do you think as a woman? What do you make of the Me Too movement? That was something that was big in the last few years. What's your take on that?
On the Me Too
movement, yes.
Could you throw a bit of light on it for me to be able to get you properly, please?
So the Me Too movement was started out by some ladies in Hollywood, and it was about taking a stand against sexual harassment of women in that profession. But generally across all the professions that women find themselves, and it's a whole rise of the ladies speaking out about their experiences with sexual harassment and sexual assaults and violence against women. So Me Too was sort of an identification by women saying, I too have experienced these harassments, these assaults, this violence. And so that's where the name Me Too sort of came from. I'm sure this is not something that is widely broadcasted in your part of the world. I don't know. So I was just interested in what you thought about it.
But I get your understanding of how do I, if I'm paraphrasing correctly, look at the situation in which probably a woman gets sexually harassed, especially at the workplace, or in general. These are the issues that, Mark, we deal with every day in terms of whenever I talk about women empowerment. See, that word empowerment is something so big. It has to do with a lot of education that even educated women need to know. You need to know that I have once lost a job because of the way I once resigned from a job because of the way, the kind of pressure my boss was giving me. And I'm supposed to be a human rights activist. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It doesn't mean we who are talking all these things sometimes do not have some of these pressures. Sometimes you have it, but it's up to you to choose when you want to react or not. Even though I always advise a lot of women to always react, because if you react by reporting, you don't save yourself at that moment, you will be saving some other person. And trust me, as the time that man did whatever he did, trying to, screw me up by giving me extra tasks at moments which I did not like. I just had to leave the job because I had a better offer. But then I made sure I reported him after, and I made sure he actually came back to confess to me and to that organization, and he also lost the job. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. In that case, my conscience is well justified. I'm not being wicked. But if I were not strong enough maybe to tell myself, no, I'm not going to compromise nothing for work. What about a girl who is in a very desperate situation and ends up in that? See, as a woman, there is nothing as painful as you giving in to sexual harassment, as you degrading yourself to the point of sin where you can sleep with somebody or you can give in to somebody's sexual desires just for something that is not love. This is indirectly rape. The psychological trauma that you have to live with if you are a sane woman, it's really very painful. You get? Mm-hmm. So for me, those two things, I draw a very, very thick line on that. And I encourage every woman that if you work in almost all organizations now, as part of their human resource policies, clearly would state all those things at the point of joining. Whoever is your HR that is onboarding you should be able to tell you, otherwise ask, in this company, do they have respect for women's rights? Do they have respect for, is it okay if your boss will tell you this, and tell you that if it's a man, or is it okay for you to be harassed? Have you had any cases? Usually when I go for interviews, I end up being the interviewers. Because the kind of questions I ask, I want to be sure of where I'm going to, what I'll be doing, the kind of people. See, we spend 3/4 of our lives at work than anywhere. Those in the diaspora, they know this, especially those in the Middle East, where we don't have to do 2-3 jobs. Your one job takes almost all your time, and I don't know how much you're being paid for it. So nobody wants, to come and give in their all, sacrifice everything for something that will be screwed up in a twinkle of an eye. For me personally, these are the questions. Once you've told me, yes, Nelly, we have accepted, we are going to give you an offer. Now it's my time to question you. I start asking you all these things. So the day that something goes wrong, I come to you, ma'am or sir, remember we had this discussion. This is what is going on. How can I be protected? Ladies, If ever you are in a situation like this, speak up. Do not die and have the psychological traumatizations that come with anything that has to do with sexual harassment in your career life. No, speak out. And if you want to ask where you can speak out, I believe in Dubai, for example, there are a couple of numbers that you can call. There is TASGIL, there is TASHIL, the arm of the side of human resources that takes care of employee rights and all this. You don't necessarily need to go and approach somebody and call their names. You can always just go there and report. And I believe in Cameroon, it's the same thing everywhere. They always have this unit. So as a woman, the first sense of self-defense is understanding your environment. When you go somewhere, don't just go and like, okay, they brought me here to Dubai to come and sit and look at places, look at the streets. No. First thing, what is the Ahmed number? What is the police number? If you're in trouble, which number can you call? Keep it in your head. If you're in fire, which number can you call? Keep it in your head. And I think these are the things we, as women, should also train our kids, you know, to have a recap of all these kind of emergency numbers. Save yourself. It goes same for the workplace. If you're working, be at the alert. You know, watch what's going on in case there is an adversary situation. How can you be able to pull yourself out of it? As a woman, this is the kind of emancipation I like. This is the kind of thing I want. I just want to see any woman, you know, waking up and crying because you when somebody scolded at you and then you became that weakness. I don't need that kind of energy. Be strong, my lady. 2020.
Yes. So like you said it again, ensure that you understand your environment, put yourself in a positive space, keep positive people around you, think positively, change your mindset, frame your mindset in a way that helps you overcome your challenges and helps you focus on what it is that you want to achieve rather than what it is that is distracting you, and keep negative people and negative energy out of your way. Those are some of the things that we have captured in this conversation. I'll ask you one final question. I know, and if anybody was listening and paying attention, they would have deduced this by now. You are a very spiritual person. I would use the term religious to give a greater understanding to those who might have a separation between these two. But tell us a little bit about your spirituality and what that means to you and how that informs, you know, all of the positives that you embody and that you espouse.
Man, see, spirituality is one thing. Being God-fearing, going to church is another thing.
Mm-hmm.
You get?
Yeah.
In my world, you might go to church and still go to hell. You can cover your head with white or black hair tie from A to Z days of the year and still go to hell. Spirituality is something that has to do a lot with you, yourself, and God. I, for one, am God-fearing. I believe that things have not all gone so well for me up to this point because I am a superwoman, because I am pursuing education, because I am beautiful, because of my family, because of support I'm getting. I don't see everything as I got to this point or I'm living up to this day because I merit it. I really feel that there is a very strong force behind all this, which we all must or should acknowledge, or which I acknowledge, and that is God. Hence, for me, you might not see me every day going to church with my head covered, but I believe in God. I love him so much. And each time I have a chance to talk to anybody, I always make them to know that if you make God the center of your life, he's never going to frustrate you. No matter how much people will sit down and call your name in bad places, in the wrong places, at the wrong time, God will always put you at the right time, at the right place, doing the right thing when he wants. However, while you pray to God, try to visualize, try to practicalize your actions, which should be well planned, to be able to be towards that which will provoke God to release his anointing on you. This is just me for you. So as much as I want to provoke him, as much as I'm living my life, I'm also enjoying the life. Whatever I feel like doing that is not going to be detrimental to the next person around me or to myself, that gives me happiness, nothing will stop me from doing. I will do it. I don't care what you say. If it's my shit and I'm enjoying the shit, I will do it, as long as God is not putting me questions. So ladies, my take home for 2020 regarding spirituality is, there is no need to pretend. Something is either black or it's either white. You might either choose to talk it out or you might choose not to talk it out. A lot of strong women are dying in silence. A lot of strong men are dying in silence. A lot of weak ones are dying as well. Whenever you have a chance to do what is right, it's the right thing you feel, let nothing stop you from doing it. If it gives you happiness and you believe that you are in pure concurrency with it and God, go on, it's your life. If you choose to tie your hair from January to December, it's okay. As long as you're happy, I can't judge no one. One of the things I don't do in my life is I'm not judgmental.
Very powerful. And we will try to conclude on that note. Being judgmental is not a very rewarding and positive attitude to bear. It is always important to understand that difference is who we are. We are not one and the same person. And if you recognize that difference, then you will recognize that the only one, as the Bible says, that has the power to judge is the Most High and not man. So all we can do as human beings is to offer love. Love others as we expect them to love us. Love others as we love ourselves, and do unto others what we expect to be done unto us. And try as much as possible to show compassion, to give out love, and to help each and every other person where we are able to offer that help. Miss Nehlittle, thank you so very much. I'll conclude with this. This was something that was said by another very strong person. They said that, and I wanna capture this well. It is. Just give me a second. Let me get the. Oh yeah. This is what this lady said. Trying to do it all and expecting that it can be done exactly right is a recipe for disappointment. Perfection is the enemy. That is Sheryl Sandberg, who's the CEO of Facebook, who also wrote the book Lean In. Ms. Little, thank you so much for taking this late hour and coming to spend time with me. It is so good to see you and see you in your element and have this conversation. People won't believe that, you know, we went to high school together. We spent quite a lot of time together doing a lot of artistic works. And, you know, I'm so happy to see that you've continued on that path and it is shining bright. And it is so wonderful to have this conversation with you. And I hope to have you again on the show because we had some glitches in the beginning. So I'm hoping that the next time we have you on to talk about so many of the other things that we have not been able to cover, that we would have no glitch. And at that time, we'll be able to be in a position where we can play some of your songs right on here on air. And we could also see some of the work that you are doing in the form of videos. So thank you again very much. And have a good night.
Thank you. Thank you, Mark. Thank you to all the viewers, all those of you from South Africa. I love you. Ngiyakutanda wena. All those watching from Mozambique, Nakuranza, all those watching from Kenya, Mambo, all those watching from India, especially. Thank you so much, my Jan, to all of you. And all those watching from Cameroon, especially, I love you so much, especially my cassava farmers and all those from Dubai and all those in the US and the world at large. I love you so much and hope to see you again. Thank you, Mark. You've been so inspirational to me. God bless you.
Thank you very much and have a good night. Fellow viewers, I thank you for joining us here on the show today. It has been a good conversation with me and my very good friend, Miss Nehlittle. This concludes our show. Thank you for dropping and watching. Please share, like our videos, encourage others to watch. Next time, start a watch party if you can. I want to thank those who are helping us here as we grow and try to produce this show. Ignite Labs right down here in Yarmouth in the South Shore. And to all of those who provide support to Unfiltered, my lovely wife, Shannon Joe, my brother, Aiden Joe, those of you who support the show in the background and help us get things started here, I want to thank you all. Please tune in again. Next Saturday, we're going to have another incredible guest who will be joining us here. We'll provide more details as the week unfolds, and we hope to see you on Saturday. Thank you all, and have a good night.
Good night.